In the quiet suburban streets of Enfield, North London, 1977 began like any other year. But soon, the Hodgson family would find themselves at the center of one of the most terrifying paranormal events in British history. What started as faint whispers and fleeting shadows would escalate into a nightmare that would baffle investigators, terrify the family, and leave an indelible mark on the world of the supernatural. This is the story of the Enfield Poltergeist. The Hodgson family lived in a modest red brick house on Green Street. It was an ordinary home, indistinguishable from the others on the block. But behind its unassuming facade, something sinister was stirring. The house stood silent under the pale glow of the streetlights, its windows dark, as if hiding secrets too terrible to reveal. It all began in the bedroom of 11-year-old Janet Hodgson. Late one night, as the house lay still, Janet and her sister Margaret heard a strange knocking sound. At first, they dismissed it as the creaks of an old house, but soon the knocks grew louder, more deliberate, as if something or someone was trying to communicate. Then the unthinkable happened. Chairs began to slide across the floor on their own. Toys flew off shelves, and the family's belongings were thrown about as if by an invisible hand. The Hodgson children screamed as they watched in horror, unable to explain the chaos unfolding before their eyes. Word of the haunting spread quickly, and soon, paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren arrived at the Hodgson home. Armed with cameras and recording equipment, they were determined to uncover the truth. But even they were unprepared for what they would encounter. As the investigation deepened, Janet began to exhibit signs of possession. Her voice would change, becoming deep and guttural, as if another entity was speaking through her. In the kitchen, she levitated above the table, her body rigid, her eyes blank. The Warrens watched in horror, realizing they were dealing with something far more dangerous than they had anticipated. Through Janet, the spirit began to speak. It claimed to be Bill Wilkins, an elderly man who had died in the house years earlier. His voice was cold, his words filled with malice. He spoke of his hatred for the living and his desire to drive the Hodgsons from their home. The Warrens recorded every word, their equipment capturing the chilling voice of the dead. The haunting reached its peak in Janet's bedroom. One night, as the family and investigators gathered, the room grew icy cold. Furniture was thrown against the walls, and Janet was lifted into the air, her body thrashing violently. The Warrens performed a blessing, their voices trembling as they called upon divine intervention. Slowly, the activity subsided, but the scars of the ordeal would remain forever. As dawn broke over Green Street, the Hodgson house stood silent once more. The Warrens packed their equipment, their faces weary from the night's events. The Enfield Poltergeist had left its mark, not just on the Hodgson family, but on all who witnessed its terrifying power. To this day, the events at Enfield remain one of the most chilling and unexplained cases in the history of the paranormal. Was the Enfield Poltergeist a hoax, as some have claimed? Or was it a genuine encounter with the other side? The truth may never be known. But for those who experienced it, the terror was all too real. And for those who dare to listen, the story of the Enfield Poltergeist serves as a chilling reminder that some mysteries are best left unsolved.